Just announced. Princess Leonor to marry Prince Christian this October. Spain has always been a land of tradition, history, and monarchy. Royal announcements usually arrive with careful words, guarded expressions, and predictable tones. But today, the world received news that shattered expectations. Princess Leonor of Spain, the heir to the throne, the future queen, has just confirmed what millions of royal watchers have been waiting for: she will marry Prince Christian of Denmark this October. Yet behind the announcement lies something far more profound than a date on the calendar. This is not just a wedding. This is the convergence of two dynasties, two nations, and two young hearts carrying the weight of centuries. The palace statement was brief, but the world's reaction was instant. Headlines flashed across Europe, America, and beyond. The Spanish press erupted in celebration. Danish newspapers hailed a historic moment. But perhaps the most telling reaction came not from reporters, nor even from officials, but from the people themselves. Crowds gathered outside royal palaces in Madrid and Copenhagen, waving flags, holding flowers, and chanting Leonor's name. For them, this is more than news, it is destiny unfolding before their eyes. But why now? Why October? Why did Leonor and Christian choose this moment to step forward? To answer this, we must go deeper, into the lives of two heirs who were born into palaces but raised in an age of scrutiny, pressure, and global attention. Leonor, born in 2005, grew up as the symbol of a new Spain: modern, resilient, proud. From the time she first spoke in public at age 13, every gesture, every word, was measured against the expectations of a nation. Christian, born just months later in Denmark, carried a similar destiny. Son of Crown Prince Frederik and Crown Princess Mary, he was raised to inherit not just a crown, but a legacy of trust and tradition. Their paths crossed quietly, at first. Royal gatherings, international ceremonies, state visits where heirs stood side by side. Cameras caught glimpses, the exchange of glances, the shared laughter, the spark that was subtle but undeniable. The world speculated, but the families remained silent. And yet, behind the silence, a story of love was unfolding. Today's announcement confirms what many had suspected but few dared to say aloud: that Leonor and Christian, bound by birth to crowns and duties, had chosen each other not out of obligation, but out of love. But love in royalty is never simple. Behind the romance lies the weight of diplomacy. What does this marriage mean for Spain? For Denmark? For Europe itself? The answer lies in history. Royal marriages have always been more than unions of two individuals. They are political alliances, signals of unity, declarations of continuity. When Isabel of Castile married Ferdinand of Aragon, Spain itself was born. When monarchs across Europe intermarried, they secured peace, or ignited rivalries. Now, Leonor and Christian stand at a crossroads. Their union signals more than affection. It signals the strengthening of ties between Spain and Denmark, between the Iberian Peninsula and Scandinavia. In an era of shifting politics and uncertain futures, this marriage tells the world: stability endures. But let us not forget the human story. For Leonor, this wedding marks a turning point. She is not only a bride-to-be, she is a future queen, walking a path that demands sacrifice. Will she balance her duties as monarch with her role as wife? For Christian, the questions are equally pressing. He is heir to Denmark, but his future is less defined than Leonor's. Will he support her reign in Spain, or will their marriage create tensions between their responsibilities? These are the questions whispered in palace halls, debated in editorial pages, and speculated on by millions watching across the world. And then there is the family drama. Queen Letizia, ever protective of her daughter, is said to have been cautious about the timing of the announcement. King Felipe, dignified and steady, reportedly pushed for it, believing that clarity would strengthen Leonor's image as Spain's next monarch. Across the sea in Denmark, Crown Princess Mary has quietly offered guidance, reminding her son of the sacrifices that come with public life. Crown Prince Frederik, balancing his duties and his role as father, is said to be proud, but aware of the challenges his son will face. Even Queen Margrethe, Denmark's matriarch, is believed to have given her blessing, seeing in the young couple a reflection of dynastic continuity. Yet for all the family perspectives, the wedding itself remains the focus. October is the chosen month, and already the preparations have begun. Where will the ceremony take place? Will it be Madrid, Denmark, or perhaps a union of both? Speculation swirls around cathedrals, palaces, and grand halls. Designers have been quietly commissioned, though names remain guarded. The dress Leonor will wear has already become the subject of global curiosity. Will she follow tradition, or will she break it, as Letizia once did? Every choice will be a statement, every detail a message. And let us not forget the people. For them, this wedding is not a distant ceremony, it is a shared moment of pride, identity, and hope. Spaniards see in Leonor not just a princess, but their future queen. Danes see in Christian not just a prince, but their future king. Together, they represent a new generation of royalty, youthful, educated, modern, yet steeped in centuries of tradition. But the story is not without tension. Critics ask whether the timing is right. Spain faces challenges, political divisions, economic pressures. Should its future queen be focusing on marriage now? Others question whether such grandeur is fitting in an age of simplicity. But supporters counter that the wedding is not an escape from duty, it is the embodiment of it. A monarch who knows love, who understands partnership, is better prepared to lead. And so, as October draws near, the world will watch. The streets of Madrid, the avenues of Copenhagen, will be dressed in flags and flowers. Foreign dignitaries will arrive, bells will ring, and in the middle of it all, two young heirs will look at each other, and speak vows that carry the weight of centuries. This is more than a wedding. It is a moment of history, a chapter in the story of Europe, a union that will echo for generations. For Leonor, it is the first step toward her destiny as Queen of Spain. For Christian, it is the path to a future forever tied to another throne. For the world, it is proof that even in an age of change, some traditions remain eternal. And so, the announcement made today is not the end of speculation. It is the beginning of a journey. A journey of roses and vows, of crowns and choices, of unity and love. The question is no longer whether Leonor and Christian will marry. The question now is how their marriage will shape the future of Spain, of Denmark, and of monarchy itself. October awaits. History awaits. And as the world prepares, one truth shines brighter than all. Princess Leonor has chosen her path, and in doing so, she has chosen to share it with Prince Christian. Together, they will not just write their love story. They will write the story of Europe's next royal era.